Hey y'all, I'm back with another Dragon Empire profile. I wanted to profile Nirvana. I really wanted to profile this deck. This is probably going to be my only version of the deck until set 3 till we get more consistency cards. Like it or not, the Urger version of the deck is very much dreaming in terms of how you're playing the deck. You're hoping you draw the grade 1 that lets you boost. You're hoping you draw, what's its name? I have to look it up. I forget its name because I don't play this deck. You're hoping you draw arcs. You're hoping you draw arcs to draw into other cards. You're hoping you draw so you could overdress twice, and so that you could also you draw the Urger in hand so you can do the multi-attack. There's just too many variables or too many pieces the deck wants to do just so it can do its basic 4-attack combo, let alone the multi-6 or 7-attack combo that it can do with the grade 3. But this is I'll tell you, this is the most boring / most consistent version of the deck right now post set 2, at least in my opinion. And I also wanted to showcase this because I did pull it from one of my victory packs. Not playing this deck, I was playing Overlord, but let's get on with the profile. You notice I'm not running Trickstar as the starter, just because in this version of the deck, it's not necessary. It's not really necessary for you to overdress twice, to whereas you could just call one of your dress units and it can just be a beater and you're okay with that, at least for a couple turns. You obviously want to max out on Persona Ride. You could already hit pretty decent numbers without Persona Ride, but your numbers just become like in the 33, 40, 50k lanes. And those are without boost. So let me try up here. And then you need the key card of the deck, 4 Trickstars. It barely comes up that, unless you're in the prison matchup, but I feel like prison matchup is supposed to be your worst matchup, but I feel like if you play the game normally, they just can't deal with how they just can't deal with you, man. Like prison is like the worst deck right now in my opinion. But you're playing 4 of the Trickstars. You need it to play this deck. So it was gonna be a really short profile because this is a very again, like, I hate it because they have so many good cards but not enough space to play all the cards. You're maxing out on regular Vairina. Where can I put them? Put them right here. You're maxing out 4 copies of regular Vairina. Let me just show you all of them and then I'll explain. 4 arcs. 4 Urger. And then 4 copies of Valiente. Now, this is why I would call it the most consistent version of the deck. It's not the most powerful, it's just the most consistent in terms of you will see your overdress pieces. There is no way you will not see your overdress pieces. You run once you search out your regular Vairina with the grade 2, when you ride your grade 3, you will have 15 overdress pieces in your deck. 4 of them let you draw 2 cards to see even more overdress pieces in your deck. And this is all you need. This is all you need. The most consistent version of the deck, because all you have to do is maintain 2 front rows that are overdressed, and that's it. Swing for big numbers every turn till your opponent's dead. I didn't say it was exciting. I said it was consistent. But again, you don't even have to maintain 2 overdress. You don't even have to maintain, if you don't have the other Trickstar. Like, let's say I've had so many games where Trickstar was limited to 1, or my deck chose that Trickstar was limited to 1. The other copies are hiding in my deck. You call this to a rear, it's 23. Persona, it's 33. You just want to swing for your big numbers. And it's so sad. It's so sad. This deck can do what Orphis does with less resources and better and more consistently every turn, because you're mostly just playing with a front row. Like, if you're scared of Bruce, knocking out your back row, this is the deck to play, because all you're attacking with is front row. Like, this becomes a decent 15k interceptor, but you're not really using it for its multi-attack skill. Like, if you happen to Persona Ride and you have the soul to expend for Urger, congratulations, you got yourself an extra attack that was 15. You got like at least like a 5k shield out of your opponent's hand, or a free damage. But like I said, this isn't the Urger deck, this is Vairina, the most consistent version of it, whereas I'm just going to play every Overdress card in the game currently, so I can be almost guaranteed to see it. And then the last card in the deck we're actually playing is Dragon Monk Gojo. Because the basic fields you'll be setting up, there'd be a lot of times where you'll have a Valiente on board that they don't want hit, or they don't like a Valiante on board that they don't want hit, or a crit you pass to the rear guard, you have a Valiante on this rear guard and then a crit on this the rear guard, they don't want hit. Most of the time they'll let your Vanguard hit. So this is the counter charge of the deck, this and Urger, I guess, if you like chance the Persona and you have Urger in hand. This is, but like I said, this is an Urger deck, so this is the most consistent counter charge that I found for the deck, because you're using 1 to 2 counterblast every turn. 1 to 2 counterblast every turn. And sometimes you don't even want to use your Vanguard's ability, because you want to pressure your Valiante restand. Four PGs, the good PGs, not much to explain. One of the Dragon Empire Overtrigger, I feel like the Dragon Empire Overtrigger just works well in every Dragon Empire deck. Nirvana and Overlord mostly, just because because of the Vanguard ability of Overlord, so you can get an extra restand, and because of the ability of Nirvana, it's not once per turn. Yes, you may counterblast one again to give 10k to your front row. Your Valiante thanks you. And then we're doing the same lineup of 3 of the 20k front, and 8 crit, 4 heal. Again, you want to max out on crits in this deck, just because crits are it's almost, you would almost call it a combo enabler, because crits are what win you the game in this deck more often than not. If you flip a critical trigger, you give it to your rear guard. They're at 4 damage. You give it to one of your rear guards, and you have a Valiante on the other rear guard. They can't take those attacks. They can't take either. They take the Valiante restands and attacks again. They take the crit, they die. So it's when you check 1 crit, it's almost as if you check 2. So that's my favorite combo of this deck, even though it is based off you flipping a critical trigger. But if it's based off you flipping a critical trigger, why wouldn't you max out on it? At least that's in my opinion. But like I said, this profile, it really wasn't a long one, but this is what I was able to come up with. There's so many things I wish I could do with this deck. Like, the grade 3 is so good for getting multiple attacks of grade 0s, but it expends soul, so you really can't use it that well in the Urger deck. Or if you're using it, you're doing the Urger combo that 1 turn, but you don't have the consistency of doing it again unless you see Pacific cards that let you soul charge and Persona Ride, like Togashi Rashi. But you don't have consistency of seeing those cards. That's the thing. It has too many moving pieces, at least in my opinion. So this is just the most basic dummy Overdress deck, but it's unfortunately the most consistent right now until set 3. We get more search cards, we get more Overdress units. But Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about it down below. If you like it, if you don't like it, tell me why the Urger deck is better. But there's just so many times where I've seen the Urger deck, you blow up their rears, or you had to use your rears to intercept, and then next turn you just don't have anything. You don't have soul. You don't. It's not a good feeling. And I like Overdress. I like the mechanic. It's just not a good feeling. So this is it. This is, or at least this is the list I'm most comfortable playing with for Vairina right now. Just dummy, put every Overdress card in there and play 8 crit. Have a good day.